Hi friends, strangers, internet. My name is Emily. I love colorful makeup and colorful language. And welcome back, or welcome in if this is your first time being here. But if you've been here before, welcome back to another little makeup playtime. Shopping Sephora and then shopping my stash. I have done this video a couple of times. I'm inspired by Hannah Louise Poston, who does this kind of video pretty regularly, and it's a pretty straightforward concept, I think. I go through and make a shopping cart of makeup that is tempting me, and then I use that cart, that kind of wish list, as a reason to dig into my own collection and pull together, you know, a basket of goodies that feels directly inspired from things on my wish list. Now, when I do these videos, I'm not specifically focusing on Sephora. I'm often looking at indie releases, but also mainstream stuff. So today, actually, I do have a bit of a Sephora cart, but the actual first pinpoint inspiration to do this, Clionadh Cosmetics has launched their expansion of their stained glass collection. If you don't know their stained glass collection, they are a beautiful multi-chromatic, duochromatic collection of eyeshadows, some of which you're seeing right here in these rectangular pans. And as you can see, I have a nice collection of them. These are not all of the ones that I own. I think I have four or five more beyond these. So these beautiful eyeshadows are what inspired this whole video. But let's walk through, if I can remember, in the order that I applied things, because we did not immediately start with the eyeshadows. But I will say, the new collection from Clionadh, it's really pretty. I'm sure I'm going to say it a million times in this video. Actually, another thing that I felt very inspired to do this video on is the newest foundation from Lancome, the Teint Idole, or as T nappy-headed Holly would say, Teint Idol. I kind of love both accents the same, equally. But Lancome has released a new formula of the Teint Idole. It is called, let me give you the full name, the Teint Idole Ultra Wear Color and Glow Foundation with Hyaluronic Acid. This seems to be like a glowier, SPF included take on the original Teint Idole, which I do not own. And I am so curious by either formula, to be honest. But the reality is that, like, I don't reach for foundations. And while this like glowy base concept is very tempting, I ended up mixing up something today that I'm pretty fucking pleased with. So I used a mix of a little bit of the Wet n Wild Glass Corrector Banana shade, which I have decanted the last bit of my bottle into this. So I mixed a little bit of that with the Art Glow Lust. I think I ended up using a whole pump of this, and this is the Morganite shade, the reformulated version. And then some of the Fenty Eavesdrop Skin Tint in shade 3. Because the things that called to me in this product were glowy and kind of like coverage, but not too much coverage in theory. But I create that all of the time, either with one or both of these bases and concealers, or mixing them, or all of these things. So My curiosity totally still exists, but even though I just said I am still curious about either of the Tintidolls, it also confirmed that I really like having glow and then coverage. So like the concealer that I went in with later is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion something or other, but it doesn't, this concealer isn't the specific one I like mixing, but I prefer not mixing on my hand, but just putting something glowy all over, either one or both of these. These also mix really nicely, and then concealing and kind of letting it all mesh together. So like, will I continue to maybe mix with Eavesdrop some glowy products? Perhaps, but it actually confirmed I really do prefer concealer and yeah, the two things separate, the glow and the coverage separate. Kind of, I don't know. All I'm saying is that like, happy with my skin today. Also, not totally sold on wanting a glowy foundation. I think I said a lot of words when I could have just said, it was a good experiment. But I'm a talking bitch. So anyway, so that was the first thing. And then we went into the Clionadh shadows. Now, what I did for today, and what I might continue to do on camera or off, is that I actually used a random number picker to pick 4 shades. I was going to either pick 3 and then let myself pick the last color, or just pick 4. I went ahead and let it pick all 4 because I was liking the direction we were going. So this little quad up here is the quad that I used today. And I was very excited because it was a little bit of an experiment of getting a color that I really love, which is Ray, which is from the Iridescent 2 series. And then a couple of colors that in theory I would like, but I don't reach for as much, or formulas from their collection that I don't reach for as much. What is wild is that I always forget I have this color. So I got Ray, as I was telling you. I also got Embroidery, which I believe is a hybrid, but I will put the formula on the screen if it is not a hybrid. And I also got Vermeil, which I think is a jeweled, but the color that I always forget that I have is Roseline. I see Roseline in swatches in use, and I'm like, that color is so beautiful. Bitch, you own it. And this was a really fun combination to work with because I'm pretty sure that as I was pulling the numbers, I saw that I got Ray kind of early on, and I was like, okay, I have an iridescent, which basically means I have a face highlighter. Ray is it's so intense. It is so beautiful. It is just, it's red, it's pink, it's orange, like it's highly intense. Like, I know I have used this shadow a lot, but it is also very low in the pan because it is a flakier formula. It will put, like, a lot comes up. You can be very gentle when you go in to swatch or apply this. But so I put Ray down all over cheeks, all over the lid, on, like, fucking all over. I highlight that way anyway, so I just went with it. It like melts into the skin beautifully, but then it looks so fucking intense. And then I just kind of went in, and I went in with Vermeil, and I put it down on the first like third of my eye. And then I went in with Heirloom and then Roseline. So I put down the fyrinnae Pixie epoxy down first, and like I always tap it up and out because I like to really blow my shadows out, even shimmers, especially shimmers. And so when I first started applying vermeil, I was using the Refer 21 brush, which I adore for every shimmer, all shimmers. Oh, it's just perfection. Because especially for my inner corner, inner lid, I really like having a brush for that. I then continued over with Heirloom, and that I started with a brush, and then because I realized I had more space and I really just wanted to like pack it on and blend it out and just do my like grungy multi-chrome eye thing, I went in with my finger. And then Roseline, I wasn't expecting to like, I'm all so much hands today, always so much hands. Also, iced coffee is the best. But Roseline, I wasn't expecting to like blush drape it out, but it's so pretty. It's like bronzy ready to like magenta. It's such a pretty color and formula. It is such a pretty color, and I am like, I would not have thought to like put it on this way. I would have not even thought to put it on without this video. And while there are so many colors in the new expansion, like not the whole thing to me, but I would probably say I could pick out 10 to 15. I'd say 10, but another at least 10 to even 20 of the existing collection that I could put in my cart easily, especially because the iridescent formulas. I kind of want every iridescent 2 and every glitter iridescent because I love them. And this eye look made me happy. And I went in, once I had all of the shimmers laid down, okay, I think I did blush next. And so I'm thinking back to the face. For highlight, you know, I use my Clionadh, but I have to say the Haus Labs highlighters, just, they feel very tempting. And I'm always drawn to like pinky colors or pink to peach kind of colors. And I know Hannah Louise Poston recently was talking about a color that she reviewed and how it just, like, I think it was either one of the pink or the peach colors that I was looking at, and how it flashes gold a lot. And like, I don't love gold highlighters on me. So this was just another good reminder. Like, I have a ton of like pinky to warm tone highlighters. I have a ton of like peachy or just pinky or just yellowy or green highlighters that I love. I'm not gonna not buy highlighters, but I feel like I have calmed the Haus Labs desires. But anyway, blush. Thank you to, I think it's to both Audra and Teresa, maybe other people, but they have both mentioned Benefit and the bronzers and the blushes and like the repackaged and blah, 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 blah. So I've definitely been looking at them. They have this beautiful color called Terra. It's a very terracotta color. And I do believe it's one of their newer colors. When I was originally pulling out makeup kind of preemptively, I pulled out Warm Honey, the monochromatic blush duo from Cover FX. But I ended up going and grabbing Soft Cinnamon, which I am so glad I did. Like, meaning I grabbed it from my collection, not like bought it. Because when I blew out Roseline, I was like, oh, no, I think I need to embrace the warm, ready tones. And this blush just does not get a lot of play from me. It's definitely a more pigmented blush. I think it's, you know, probably optimally designed for somebody that is not quite as uncooked chicken as I am. So I have no fault. My asshole neighbors are being assholes. Iced coffee break. But I love this formula. and I still do. And I've got a bunch of blushes in my collection that are newer, that I have been loving, but I have to say I haven't gone back to this. I'm gonna continue, like I need to make sure I'm still using Soft Peach and Warm Honey because it's such a beautiful formula. I love, you can have the matte or the shimmer, you can mix them or pair them. They're very pigmented, so I understand why they might not be a favorite for everyone. And this is like the only thing I've ever really raved about Cover FX. And this, I don't know if this is the only thing I ever, it's not the only thing I've ever tried from Cover FX, but I consistently rave about this damn blush. Yeah, I have 4 colors in this blush, in case you're new here. They're all fabulous. Once I had the blush and highlight and everything down, I went in and finished up my eyes. I put vermeil all underneath the lash line, and I'm so glad I just like used the one color because it has enough green in it that I felt like it really looked like it worked all together. I did pull a little bit of rose line out from the corner on the lower lash line, and then I went in with just a, oh, I did not close this. Good job, me. Just a basic brown pencil from a brand called Bisou that I can get here in Mexico. It's just a solid gel pencil, no complaints. I feel like this would probably be comparable with like the LA Girl gel pencils or like any decent gel sharpenable pencil, and I used that all in the waterline, and then I used it to wing out and smoke out my lash line a little bit. And as per usual, I'm still stuck on the magnetic lashes. I used I think these are the Charm set today with the magnetic liner. Still really enjoying them. I have to say, being a bad bitch with lashes is a very fun thing for me. It's very different, and so I'm just like still loving it. If anyone sees ever like a clear magnetic liner or brown or other colors, let me know, because that's my only complaint. I also used my ColourPop freckle pen. None of this is like related to the shopping Sephora, but those are all the things that you are seeing. And then I also, my brows are my Glisten liners, which I have an affiliate code now. You can save 10% off with code Nomnivorous. But I will say there are 20% off codes out there, so save more money if you can. But maybe one day I'll have a 20% off code. It's weird, so I'm just embracing the weird. Anyway, so I use my Glisten liners. Oh, I've also throughout the video been using, I picked up the Katie Jane Hughes Spectrum brush set on like fucking super sale. I ended up spending like, I think it was around $115 with shipping and everything for 30 brushes. I really enjoy them. I'm not gonna say anyone needs them, blah, 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 all of that. But you know what I have been the most shocked about are like duo fiber brushes. What? Like, excuse me? Excuse me? Okay, the blush brush I used today was not duo fiber, but it's a very floppy floppy, very soft brush, which I felt like was very nice for such an intense blush. I've also been loving the very duo fiber blush brush, but I use this in, you know, other makeup looks. Also a shocker today, I used the number 8 brush, which is pretty small. Like, it's not tiny, but it's pretty small. But I used this for base and for concealer, and I'm feeling it. I didn't feel like it was streaky. Y'all can tell me, like, maybe I blended in for longer for the base than I would have with a bigger brush, but I really like this one for my concealer base stuff. Okay, so back to the actual shopping Sephora, shopping my stash. The Urban Decay glossy bond lip product things, the Vice Lip Bond Glossy Liquid Lipstick. This is Teresa's talked about it, but there's been a lot of conversations about a lot of different glossy, longer wearing lip products. And I recently picked up 2 of the Revlon Satin Ink lip stains, Black Cherry and Perfect Storm. Black Cherry I wore in one of my, like the whatever our last video, if you saw a deep glossy Black Cherry lip, it was that one. I find that the Black Cherry color is absolutely fucking worth it. Perfect Storm though, I had a very different application experience and wear. So just by testing out those 2, I think I should stay away from these kinds of formulas. I don't think they're actually what I'm looking for. In reality, I love my glossy lips. I love my hydrating lipsticks and all of that. And I'm okay with reapplying them. So I pulled out like every Propa lipstick I owned. I think I'm gonna include all the footage of me trying on the different colors. I ended up going with Victress, and then I ended up topping it with Peach Perversion lip gloss from Pat McGrath. I would have picked up like a neutrally peachy kind of color from Urban Decay. I would have picked up like a peachy neutral from Urban Decay if I was going to buy one. And I was really just reminded, like, I have all of these beautiful tones. I should use them. And I think as we go more into autumnal makeup, because it doesn't really change seasons that much where I live. It does a little bit though, but I think I will be digging into my Propa collection even more. So if you're a fan of like hydrating, very glossy lipsticks that are also very soft, so warning there, I do really enjoy Propa, and they're often on sale, and they're an indie brand and just fucking fabulous. So I'm glad I used that. I'm glad I'm using a gloss that I already know and love. Love this formula. So yeah, I think I can stay away from all of these long-lasting glossy lips, especially because they often look very sticky. No thanks. So that is the finished look. That is my full, like, shopping Sephora, shopping my stash, you know, situation. I hope you enjoyed this. Definitely let me know if you have any thoughts on either anything I put on my face today or anything that I talked about wanting or lusting after. You can also let me know how you are shopping your stash instead of buying the new thing. Or you can always share whatever new thing you did buy, especially if you picked up anything from the CLIONadh expansion. I'm a clown, and I know that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much to everybody who does enjoy it, who hangs out, who leaves comments. Thank you so much to my patrons and my channel members. Y'all are, you mean the world to me. Yeah, you mean the world to me. And hopefully I'll see you again real soon. But most importantly, don't forget to take care of yourself better today than you did yesterday, because you are worth it. Bye, friends.